Welcome. I'm Evelyn Rudy.
And I'm your guest co-host, Dan Farias.
And this is Santa Monica on Stage, where we talk about the people and venues that make the city of Santa Monica the cultural destination for the performing arts.
We've got a fun show in store for you. We'll start with Leilani Chan and Shamala Morty from Tiada Productions. She's their project director for Pop-Up Tiada, where they burst out of the typical theater space and go directly to the public.
And later, we'll take a trip back in time with Santa Monica's own barbershop quartet,
Yes.
the Oceanaires. I practiced my best double bass voice in case they want a helper.
That's today on
Santa Monica on Stage.
Let's start the show.
It's always a good time when we are joined by our inventive friends at Tiada or Tiada Productions. I love the fact that you can pronounce it any way you like. Today we welcome Shamala Morty and Leilani Chan. Hello there, how are you?
Hello, thanks for having us.
So the big question is, what is Pop-Up Tiada?
Well, Shamala is the Pop-Up Tiada director, so go ahead.
Yeah, so what we've been doing is we've been taking workshops and performances, bringing them into communities, and making them as accessible to communities as possible so that we can learn people's stories, and particularly right now we're working with restaurant workers. And so we're learning their stories in workshops, and then popping them out into the streets and doing performances in unexpected places. For example, as a choreographer, I did a series of workshops where we really listened to the stories, what are the issues that people are working with in restaurants, and took a kind of a heartbreaking quote and turned it into movement. The heartbreaking quote being, a restaurant worker said, "I'm not even worth one cheeseburger an hour."
Whoa.
Yeah, it's pretty intense. So we turned that into movement, and the movement to me shows like the dignity and hard work of restaurant workers. You know, you don't know the exact quote, but you see the dignity and hard work. And then we also had the restaurant workers write a group poem, and the poem shows like the joy of serving combined with the challenges of living off tips. So we took the movement and made a movement choir out of it. And so people are moving out in the streets. And then we can give a postcard that has the poem on it so people can get a little insight into the restaurant worker's head, but from a very poetic, beautiful way.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. That's incredibly innovative.
Thank you.
Actually, I don't think I've ever heard of something quite like that. I mean, it's a give back also. I mean, working that closely with the community. How much preparation is involved in a pop-up Tiada?
Well, we're trying to make it as easy as possible for people to be involved. Restaurant workers have busy lives. They have to support their families. And we also want to get anybody involved who's excited about theater and supporting restaurant workers. And so we have been doing like workshops that people can show up to one but not the other, and they'll get a lot out of the process, and we might involve some of the things that we learned from them into the show. But for the actual shows, they have to show up to 1 3-hour rehearsal. And it's our job to make them look good. You know what I mean? We're artists, so we know how to work with people with multiple levels and multiple experiences to do something that everybody can look good, look theatrical together, and make an impact.
Amazing.
What are some of the most fun and unusual venues that you have popped up in?
Well, so far we were on the streets of downtown LA as a part of the May Day March on May 1st, and we will be coming to Santa Monica actually, which is very exciting. What's the date? June 14th. We'll be having a day-long intensive, and we invite anybody in the community to be involved. So if people would like to come, be a part of our process, learn how we work, and then we'll culminate with a pop-up out in the streets of Santa Monica.
So, and we're doing that at the Miles Playhouse. So it'll be a long,
Wonderful.
all-day
Wonderful
intensive, like
venue.
Shamala said, and at the end of it, anyone who comes can be in the Pop-Up Tiada.
Very exciting. What other themes are you working with the restaurant workers to bring their plight really in a certain way, and also to honor them to the community? I know there's something about sick leave, about not even getting something like that.
Yeah, so restaurant workers don't have paid sick days for the most part. I mean, there are some high road restaurants that we appreciate that are treating their workers really well, but for the most part, if you can imagine a worker sneezing in their food or coughing or being sick, and you know, of course, all the germs is there. So we would appreciate paid sick days for workers in restaurants.
It's in our best interest.
And one of two of our artists, Christina Wong and Alison De La Cruz, right now have worked together on a song that's basically a spoof of Thriller, as in Michael Jackson's Thriller. And we're bringing together zombie cooks and giant dancing germs and whatever else you can imagine to make the reality of, you know, why do we need paid sick days, but through a very fun, you know, lighthearted way that anybody would enjoy watching.
I have to ask, what has the reaction been by the people who you're doing this with? I imagine the majority of them have little to maybe no experience with dance. I know that you fuse ballet and contemporary Indian dance in this. I mean, how are they working with you on this?
It's been really enjoyable, actually, because, like I said, we made a movement phrase out of somebody's quote, but the movement phrase we made, it was me and two guys who aren't dancers. So it was me having them make movement that anybody could do, but molding it just a little bit to make it more interesting, more exaggerated, more, I would make the artistic choices, but I would have them make the movement so that it was something that anybody could do. And, we worked on slow motion racing and other kinds of things to help people like understand how to change the quality of movement in their body. And they learned the phrase, and every body we've put it on just looks gorgeous doing it. And they feel this sense of cohesiveness and of community. And movement has this magic way of helping you release emotions. And so a lot of times a worker might come to our workshop at the beginning and be stressed out and worried. Maybe it had to do with something on the job, and at the end they feel, I experienced a release. I expressed myself artistically, and I moved, and now I feel so much better.
What's up for other pop-up events or themes, Leilani? What's coming up?
Well, we have the Christina Wong's piece is coming up. We're also working with Alison De La Cruz and Dilo because there are specific work issues around LGBTQ community people who are working in restaurants or going to restaurants. So they've been collecting stories. It's kind of a very new topic, so it's been a process in getting people's stories and putting them together. And we'll be doing these pop-up theater work for the next year because we have this amazing grant from the Irvine Foundation. So we're just completing the first year cycle, and then next year we're going to have another cycle. So we're thinking of bringing in a couple more artists. We actually have been working with Break Ipaza, which is a more performance installation group, and they've also been ensemble members with us, Cristina Sanchez and Cayetano Juarez. They are helping us work around installation. So we're hoping that next year's cycle will include a more intensive collaboration with them, where they're challenging us as theater performers to work in a more installation based practice, but also that we can also provide as performers another level of theatricality to the work that they're doing. So that's really exciting for next year.
There's something on the ground that we're not supposed to see.
Oh, yeah. See what?
We'd like to share with you a gift from our pop-up theater process.
Oh,
Would you like to
yes.
say more about these?
Yes. So these are theater aprons.
Oh, now I actually love to cook, so this is going to come in incredibly handy.
This is
Great. So we wanted to offer you these.
Excellent.
We give these to our pop-up theater performers. And
Wow.
cast members, and also anyone who makes a donation of $40 or more to our organization can also get one of those.
That is well worth the donation. The donation would be well worth it even without the apron. But
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Very much so.
Oh,
you.
what a lovely idea.
It's amazing. Papa, you know what? Really quickly, how does someone find out where you're going to be?
Facebook is the best way. So friend us on Facebook, either individually or TIADA, the organization, and we're always posting things. We have a web page. A pop-up TIADA happens so quickly that we're not able to update the web page in time. But Facebook, we can decide we're going to do a pop-up TIADA tomorrow, and we can put it on Facebook. So Facebook, friend us and find TIADA, and you'll get updates immediately. We actually have a pop-up TIADA group as well. So
Fabulous.
ask to join that group, and we'll put you on.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Shamala, and
Yes.
thank you, Leilani.
Thank you.
We look forward to more pop-up TIADA in the future. Stay tuned. We'll be
you.
right back with Tom Lasky and the well-tuned Santa Monica Oceanaires.
Discover 30 years of opera in Santa Monica. Discover the Verdi Chorus.
Need a treat for Valentine's Day? A touch of holiday spirit? How about a Throwback Thursday and Flashback Friday all rolled into one? Well, look no further than the Santa Monica Oceanaires. They are keeping the Barbershop Quartet alive and kicking, and we're thrilled to be joined by member Tom Lasky. Tom, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you very much for having me.
So I have to ask, we'll just start with this. How did you get involved with the Oceanaires?
Well, I started my barbershopping when I was in college, so I was very familiar with what it was all about. And I happened to be working at Northrop, and 3 other guys came there and said, we sing in a quartet when we were at Hughes. You want to join us? And then right at that time, this was 1976, Santa Monica chapter was starting. The Santa Monica chapter of the Barbershop Harmony Society was chartered just then, and somebody gave my name to them and their name to me. That's how I got started in Santa Monica Oceanaires, and I've been with them ever since.
Fantastic. Wow. So why Barbershop Quartet? How did that all come about?
Well, in the turn of the century, when vaudeville was all the rage and people they had barbershop quartets on stage. A barbershop quartet's slightly different in its harmonies from any other kind of quartet, and it's recognized as an American original art form. Yes, it is. And about 1938, some guys, radio was in and dance bands and all that, so a man in Kansas City said, let's get some guys together and try to sing that old harmony. And they did, and they put out an advertisement, got about 25 guys or so. Somebody wrote it up in the paper, and it exploded into a national and international hobby. Yes.
So
That's
glad
amazing.
it did.
I know, right? Now I'm listening to you answer the question, your voice. I have to guess that you're the bass.
I am the bass.
Okay, so for the viewers who are unfortunate enough to not be familiar with the Barbershop Quartet and what it is exactly, describe the 4 parts of the
Oh
quartet.
yes, I'd love to, because as I just said, it's different from other 4-part harmonies. The thing is that with a normal, or with the previous, a stage a stage regular male quartet, you have the melody usually in the top part, the tenor.
Okay.
You know, all the famous quartets from the 40s, 50s, and 60s, and so forth. In barbershopping, the melody is in the second from the top part.
Okay.
So you have the melody of a song, and then you have a bass who it has a harmony that goes with the melody. And then to make a 4-part quartet, you add in the tenor on the top. He adds a little light touch to it. And the tenors are usually singing in falsetto, because if they sang in full voice, they'd blow everybody else away. So then to make the 4-part barbershop chord, you have the baritone, whose part, if you sing it all by itself, sounds totally strange, because he has to fill in all the chords.
Okay.
Oh, of course.
That's awesome. I love it. I really do. I'm in such admiration of vocal harmony in general. It's my favorite part. Okay, let me preface this by saying I am definitely no singer, but when I do attempt such a thing, I really love listening to, harmonies, a cappella, that kind of thing is fascinating, and the quartet, of course, encapsulates that. It's the epitome of it. I
The
love
chording is the entire thing about barbershop harmony. It's the thing that raises the hair on the back of your neck to hear a good chord coming out. It's the whole purpose. And actually, anybody who can sing in their car or sing in the shower, whatever, carry a tune, Happy Birthday or anything, would be able to fit into a barbershop quartet. And of course, the society puts out all kinds of assistance to us. DVDs that have the one part on and the other parts in the background. You can learn your part. You don't have to know music. Most of the people in the Oceanaires do not read music. But the Oceanaires are making a wonderful sound these days. We're going to have we're going to put on this, our annual show called Radio Days, the Radio Time Machine, coming up on the 24th of this month.
Wonderful.
And then in September, we do an ice cream social, which is a concert and serve ice cream and cake.
And the Oceanaires perform all over the place, especially on
We do.
holidays. And
Especially on holidays. At Christmas holiday time, there's a lot of requests for singing from all kinds of singing groups, and we're no different. We get a lot of requests. 2 years ago, our quartet spent, I think we did 3 or 4 two-hour sessions at the pavilions.
wow. Oh, my goodness.
Sang a long time. But on Valentine's Day, we have a program, and this is our main fundraiser of the year, actually, to support our hobby. We sell singing Valentines, which includes a balloon, a card, and 2 lovely songs, hopefully to make everybody cry when we sing them.
Can you imagine getting one of those?
I would love nothing better.
Amazing.
than
What a
to get
unique gift, too.
A Valentine, Oceanaire singing Valentine.
You shall have one next Valentine.
All right.
I will be there,
There
if
we
it's
go.
down at the Playhouse or wherever.
You heard it here. You heard it here.
And you have special costumes for the different holidays and different.
Not for the different holidays, but when we compete as a chorus, and the society sponsors contests so that they can keep improving the sound and and how you sing a song and how you sell a song and so forth, like any other singers do. So the society has contests to make people work really hard to make the best chords and all that. And when we sing on contest stage, we usually wear tuxedos, black tuxedos and red vests or blue vests that just about match his shirt, same color blue,
Well, I'm
and bow
almost there.
ties and so forth.
Can't wait to hear you sing.
Neither can I. Thank you so much, Tom, for being here. We really, really appreciate it. Thanks for joining us.
Well, thank you guys very much. I always appreciate it.
Well, stick around because Tom brought along some friends, and we're going to get a taste of their sweet harmonies coming up.
Riding a bicycle can seem like child's play.
But only if you're playing indoors.
Riding in the real street has real consequences.
Play it safe. Ride by the rules. Cars and bikes need to play together.
Please welcome Jerry Walker, Alan Hansen, Bob Curran, and Tom Lasky from the Soundstage Quartet from the Santa Monica Oceanaires. Take it away, guys.
Now here is my love song, not fancy or fine. Light a rose, oh, won't you be mine, be mine, oh, light a rose, I'm home again, Rose, to get the sun back in my sky. Light a rose, I'm home again, Rose, about 1,000 kisses shy. Ding dong ding, I can hear the chapel bells chime. Ding dong ding, any suggestion, I'll pop the question. Like a rose, I'm home again, Rose, without a sweetheart to my name. Like a rose, now everyone knows that I'm hoping you're the same. So here's my love song, I fancy you're fine. Like a rose, oh, won't you be mine, be mine? Like a rose, oh, say you'll be mine. Like a rose, oh, like a rose, like a rose, like a rose.
So there you have a song from Meredith Willson's The Music Man, written over 50 years ago. We have we're going to do a song that's a little bit newer than that and a little more hip and modern. It's called Crazy About You, Baby.
Crazy, baby, I'm crazy. Yes, sirree, I'm crazy. Well, I'm crazy about you, baby. Won't you be mine? Won't you please be mine? Crazy about you, baby. Want you all to myself. Crazy about you, baby. No one else on the shelf. Give me all your love and all that you can afford, and you can let me keep you always ever to be adored. Crazy about you, baby. Crazy. Crazy about you, baby, baby, can't you see? Crazy about you, baby. Want you all to myself. I want you all to myself. Time's come, honey, will you please be my wife? I will take good care of you the rest of your life. Gonna spend a lot of money, house bed for two, and have a cottage in the country for just me and you. Crazy about you, baby, crazy. Crazy about you, baby, baby, can't you see? Crazy about you, baby, want you all to myself. There's no one else on the shelf. After we are married, we will raise a family. All the plans we had before will fit us to a T. We'll be living humbly in our own little way. If we're to be fortunate, pray this be the day. You know we're crazy about you, baby, crazy. Crazy about you, baby, baby, can't you see? Crazy about you, baby, I want you all to myself. Yes, I want you all to myself. Well, I'm crazy about you, baby. Say you'll be mine, baby, all mine.
Well, there's a couple samples of barbershop songs. Now, we'd like to do one more for you, one from a long time ago, probably the turn of the century, Down by the Old Mill Stream.
My darling, I am dreaming of the days gone by, when you and I were sweethearts beneath the summer sky. Your hair has turned to silver, the gold has faded too, but still I will remember where I first met you. Down by the old mill stream, where I first met you, with your eyes of blue, dressed in gingham too. It was there that I knew that you loved me true.
Gentlemen, fantastic. Thank you so much. That was wonderful.
Thank
That was
Such
wonderful.
one of the most beautiful sounds in the world is the barbershop
it
quartet.
really is. Harmonies, what were we talking about?
Yes.
So just briefly, tell me, I mean, you each have your own involvement with the Oceanaires and, of course, you know, the breakout group here. But, I mean, what is it like? What's the experience of going through this and, you know, performing, singing for people?
Well, when you're singing in a large chorus, it's a very rich, wonderful sound. And there might be 10 leads doing my part and 10 more basses doing Tom parts. And it's a lovely part. Thank you. It's a lovely sensation. In a quartet, you're much more exposed, and you have to be very aware with how you're blending with each of the other individuals.
And how long have you each been interested in barbershop quartetting?
This begins my 17th year with the Oceanaires.
Wow.
And I had a little quartet experience prior to that. And then most of us have had some kind of a musical upbringing, if you will, and a little bit more than singing in the shower and with the radio. But sometimes that's pretty much describes a lot of our chorus members.
Speaking of, I understand that you do have a kind of a standing invitation to anyone who wants to come by and kind of, you know, join in on that.
The
So
door's open, and we're always looking for men who would like sing with us. We're
Only men, huh?
unfortunately, but there's a wonderful women's Santa Monica chorus.
But are they a barbershop
They
chorus?
Yes, they are. indeed.
Really?
They are terrific.
Part of the Sweet Adeline Society. And the one in Santa Monica is super.
And it's interesting that no one has ever tried to pick it and force you to sing together.
We've sung together.
Actually,
We've
have.
actually
We-
invited them to be part of our show, and we had women's quartet perform as guest quartet in
Cool.
our show.
A few years ago, on a Christmas show, the women's chorus and the men's chorus sang that duet, Baby It's Cold Outside.
A lot of fun.
Oh, I bet it was.
And there are mixed quartets as well.
Are there?
Yes,
Okay,
yes, there are.
good. As long as there are somewhere, then I'm
We'll
okay
get
with it.
everybody equally represented here. That's fine. But you know, there is something to be said for tradition, and traditionally,
Of course.
that's you know how it started with the men in the
And it
barbershop.
really did start in a barbershop.
Yeah,
right?
quite literally,
In
right?
barbershops.
In
may
a
well
sense, yes. The story is that originally, in the old days, people stood around a piano and they sang in families and so forth. And then the men down at the barber shop, some guys, you know, liked a little harmony, and a couple guys started and others joined in. That's how it really started.
And congratulations to all of you for keeping it going. I think it's really, really important, the musical tradition. And
We agree.
that's it. So we will see you next time for Santa Monica on Stage.